The Labour Party are at it again. They are officially starting an impeach style, like in the American system, a select committee process against Boris Johnson because he misled Parliament, they claim. And again, as you guys know, this channel is not really been praising Boris Johnson recently, especially over the lack of competence when it comes to leadership, when it comes to, well, forget about the left-wing policies of this so-called conservative government. But at the same time, I've also been critical of the media witch hunt and the Labour Party's bias and hypocrisy. The same Labour Party who came to criticise Partygate, and then they gave us Beergate, and much more than that. Now, the Privileges Committee are going to be starting the process, and they had Chris Bryant, the Labour MP, who was basically chairing this committee, and they decided to get rid of him because he's too biased, and they wanted to be, tactful and diplomatic. So they decided to get Harriet Harman, another Labour MP, to chair this committee. So Harriet Harman is now going to be in charge of this process to impeach Boris Johnson. Basically, this Privilege Committee, if it goes well for them, Boris Johnson, if he's found guilty that he's misled Parliament over Partygate, then they could suspend him, and they could actually trigger a leadership challenge, and they could completely get rid of the Prime Minister. Now, on the one hand, those who are sick and tired of Boris Johnson's left-wing policies were like, well, fair enough, time to go. But do we really want an internal parliamentary revolution against him? We don't know how it's going to end if it's the Labour Party running it. I'm not really sure if I'm really in favour of having Keir Starmer having a victory, because if those guys are in charge of the movement, you're not going to end up with someone better than Boris. It's unlikely. Imagine replacing it with Jeremy Hunt in the meantime, and then afterwards, he would lose to Keir Starmer. Of course he's going to lose to Keir Starmer if it's Jeremy Hunt. And even if Jeremy Hunt wins, that's not a good sign either. But all this is over this so-called birthday party. Now, if you're going to go after Downing Street for everything else that they've done, including every Friday drinks and all the other events, none of them actually had, as far as we know, obviously the report came out, Boris Johnson wasn't really involved. The one main event that Boris was involved, this is not really something to go after him for. Now, of course, if he's found guilty that he lied to Parliament, but he was also very cautious in terms of the wording he used, so it's difficult to see how this whole thing is going to basically end. I'm not really happy with this whole process anyway, because we either want, if we have no choice, if the options are Keir Starmer, someone like Jeremy Hunt or Theresa May, or a better Boris, of course we're going to have, for now, a better Boris. We prefer that. But firstly, Boris Johnson needs to sort out his, get his act together, actually govern as a Conservative Prime Minister. If that's not going to happen, then, of course, I would rather have someone like Lord Frost, for example, becoming Prime Minister. Or there are a number of other options. Not many, but there are options out there. But the Tory party needs to take control of this process, because you can't allow the opposition to bring down an elected government in that sense. So let me know. I mean, I might be wrong. You might disagree with me. Let me know in the comment section what you think. We're going to come back in half an hour with another update, this time on Rishi Sunak officially and publicly embracing socialism. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.